Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, a team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Thursday episode of YSN Live. It is February 5th, 2026. It's the only one you're going to get. Why not make it a good one? I'm Anthony Hartwig. We're so happy to have you aboard today. DJ is off and doing a big time game in Liberty as Hoops at Noon started right now as Lisbon travels to Liberty on the girls' side for Hoops at Noon. So we know he's having fun. Gary Leininger is in there as well. So today it's me, and we have a special sidecar. Been keeping it in the pocket. Didn't really promote it. Wanted to keep it a secret. And someone that we call the mailman because he always delivers quite literally and figuratively on the broadcast. DK, it doesn't stand for Donkey Kong. It stands for Dakota Kotzel. Let's go.
Oh, geez, the mailman. It works for sure. More ways than one.
You know, you got to live up to Karl Malone. I'm sorry. I think you're bad. I think you're a better mailman, though. I'll put you above.
Than a basketball? Yeah, for sure. Let's just say they want me behind the mic, Anthony. If I'm on the floor, they would ask me to go.
I don't know. I think there are some coaches that have like shorter teams that would just like, hey man, we need a body down there. We don't have anyone to call.
Yeah, because of my height. Yeah, I did play basketball my freshman year of high school. Let's just say.
They might give you a call, be like, you know what, you don't have to be great, which I'm sure you are at basketball, but let's just get you a body in there. Let's get someone that people have to respect in the paint.
I think I might be out of eligibility, though.
Turn and put it off the glass. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, but I think I might be out of eligibility at this point.
No, you saved one. You only played your freshman year. You got 3 more years left, man. That's how it works.
I think when you're in your 30s, I think that cancels out.
How old was the Carson Beck? I think he's like 28. He's still playing.
That's true.
Good.
That's true.
You're
That's
good.
True.
You're good. Dakota, well, welcome to the show. All jokes aside, we're so happy to have you aboard. One of the big reasons why you're on is because one of our special guests today is going to be Juliana Crumpack, who you had the pleasure to call her 1,000-point moment. As we prepare for that interview, talk about what it was like to be in the gym for that moment. Obviously, her and Joey Capizzello, after her on the boys' game, both get 1,000 points in the same day, which is very rare. We as announcers don't usually get 2,000-point scorers in back-to-back games on the same day. What was it like for you to be a part of that?
For me, it was cool just to be a part of the small part of history we are for those student athletes. For me, I guess I'll tell a little quick story about just how it even came about. I was scheduled that night to be in Salem they were supposed to play Niles, and then we got word that was going to happen. And with this crazy weather, and that's why you talked about a couple of days ago on the show with DJ, the games got put together just because of the weather and cancellations. And as we talked about, my other job is I'm a mailman. Well, I'm okay. I have all my fingers. I got a mild case of frostbite, so I had to take a few days off work and stay inside. So I was able to get to there earlier. And just to be a part of those two students, the history and the fact the same school on the road. I also kudos to Campbell. I know any school would do this, but they stopped the game for a few seconds to let those athletes have their moments, and just to be a part of it and to see like just the joy and happiness from the fans, their family, their teammates, the coaches, just to see an individual accomplishment. Because those players are coach. They're into the game. They want to win it. Sure, the accomplishment's fun and cool for them, and they'll look back on it. And obviously, we'll talk to Juliana later in the broadcast. But just to be a part of it, just a cool moment. Even a little small part of it, I could have been with, and they get my voice over their moment. I don't know if they're thrilled or not about that, but we'll go with it.
Hey, you had a great call, my friend, on both of them, but they were. Well, I think Juliana's was the one that you said it was worth 1,000 words, right?
Yeah. So like,
I mean, that was.
Obviously, with me having to be off work, and obviously DJ and Ty Bartel put in the group chat saying, "Hey, this is a chance this is going to happen. Just be aware." So obviously, in the game, with all the stuff we're doing, sometimes it's hard to keep track of every player's points. But obviously, in Joey and Juliana's case, I'm making sure I know when the moment is going to happen, and it just. So like I'm aware, but it just kind of came out and I heard it back and said, "Oh, well, all right, I got that one."
Something like as announcers, sometimes you have those moments where you're like, "I just killed that call," and I'm sure that was one where you're like, "Man, that happened really well." It doesn't always happen. Sometimes you say something like, "I just sounded really stupid." What was that?
I do try to stay humble, and I mean, I got some texts and stuff about it, so I appreciate it. But I won't lie, I was a little proud of that one after I heard it back.
Because in the moment, like in the moment, there were sometimes for broadcasters where you say something, and you're like, "Why nice? That was dumb." But then sometimes you say something, and you're like, "Yeah, I like that. That was good. That was good." That's what we have to do. We have to try to come up with stuff and keep the stuff we like, drop the stuff we don't. I remember last year I tried to get clever and make like a Star Wars reference when Luke Skywalker says, "Well, that's not much bigger than shooting a wombat out of but I said wombat because my brain came up with a real animal. And of course, Ty Bartel, shout out, he put that in the highlights so everyone could hear exactly what I said. Wombat became YSN viral. So thank you for Ty, because he's the one that kind of puts it out there. I was like, "You little jerk." But I digress. DK1, we'll talk more about Juliana, obviously, when she comes in. We have Jace Varley on the show as well. He'll be coming on right after her at 12:30 from Boardman, someone that we have been a huge fan of for a long time. And we're so happy to be able to have him on the show today. Before we get to all of that, let's hit the scoreboard up at ysnlive.com/scores and see what happened last night on a Wednesday evening. Boys basketball, there was a handful of games. Wednesdays usually belong to the girls, but boys basketball got in there. Hoops at noon at Brookfield. This was a remake. Remember, this was scheduled for Friday. Unfortunately, school had to be canceled for Friday because it was as cold as it had been all week last week on Friday. So Brookfield could not play this one last week. They get the win 75-38 over Champion in their Hoops at Noon game. Conneaut was on the road last night against Andrews Osborne Academy, and they fell 74-14. So Osborne Academy, someone to watch out for in the tournament time when we get into the D7 boys tournament draw next Sunday. That'll be a team that you gotta look out for. Edgewood on the road, they fell to Chardon 78-57, the final score there. Ashtabula Lakeside goes to Kirtland, and they fall 79-59 to the Hornets. And then Ashtabula St. John on the road, they fall to Pymatuning Valley 61-49, the final score. In girls basketball, same matchup between Conneaut and Andrews Osborne. This time the Spartans are the ones. They get the win 55-40. Liberty travels to East and wins 22-16. Ashtabula St. John and Badger play a thriller, a defensive matchup, as Badger gets to win 43-41 to bring their NAC record, overall record, even at 9-9. So the Braves get back to 500 with the win over St. John. Perry falls in a close one to Gilmore Academy, 49-45. That's a good game for Perry that they're going to use down the stretch because that's a very good Gilmore Academy team. We all know that. Orange falls to Harvey 51-34. Lakeside on the road at Wycliffe falls 41-22. Brookfield and Struthers play a very good game. Brookfield able to edge out the Wildcats 56-54 last night. Warren JFK goes on the road to Canton Central Catholic, and they fall 60-45 to the Crusaders. That Canton Central Catholic team going to be one that our YSN teams in Division 6 have to watch out for, because they might not be the highest seed. I think they're probably going to be, 5th or 6th, but they can beat a 1 seed pretty handily if you don't give them the respect they deserve. Connaughton Valley beat Wellsville last night 50-10. Howland let their offense loose on Austintown Fitch 72-45, the final score there for the Tigers. Champion goes on the road, gets a win over Jefferson 38-28. Campbell against Latonia, and the Red Devils get the win at home 47-35. Crestview goes and hosts Salem. They win 70-33. Addison Rhodes drops 27, but right behind her, Ava Busey had a great night, 23 points for her to help out Addison Rhodes in that cause as the Rebels roll over Salem 18-1. Crestview on the year. Geneva gets the win 61-50 over Cornerstone Christian. Warren Harding able to edge out Boardman 31-25 on the girls' side. The game of the night probably was Canfield West Branch. The Cardinals get 2 free throws from Lori Janone with 0.1 second left on the clock in OT to get the win 42-40 over West Branch. Those were 2 powerhouses going at it for sure. Ursuline gets the win in the Holy War as they win 50-16 over Cardinal Mooney. Edgewood travels to Maplewood. Maplewood gets a game-winning bucket with 8 seconds left on the clock from Katie Ware, and they win 46-45 against Edgewood. Gerard able to go to Cheney, and Cheney gets the win there 48-29. Louisville against Marlington, and the Leopards get the win 67-30. And then South Range travels to Archbishop Hoban, and they fall 72-21 to the highly ranked Knights in Division 2. So that is your scoreboard for the day. Dakota, quickly, before we get to our interview that Juliana Krempak has popped in on, any scores on that scoreboard that stick out to you?
After the Canfield West Branch game, I did a Canfield girls game last week. They played Austintown Fitch, and Fitch gave them a run for their money. And then at the end, they just kind of buckled down and ended up winning by 5 or 6. Obviously, don't remember the score off the top of my head. They're going to be fun to watch come tournament time and down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, that was a game where West Branch was on the free throw line with about 10 seconds left-ish. With a tie game, they missed 2. Canfield got the ball back, and they got fouled with 0.1 seconds left on the clock and hit 2 free throws in overtime to win it. That was pretty incredible. Something else that's pretty incredible is getting to the 1,000-point club, and our next guest knows all too well what that feels like. Someone that is the pride and joy of McDonald, the newest member of their 1,000-point club, and someone that has put in the work in this program for quite a while. Someone that we know very well, someone that DK knows pretty well. Juliana Krempak coming on. Juliana, let's go. How are we doing today, girl?
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you got it. We're honored that you have us, that you're able to come on during the middle of the day and be our guest. Let's just get right to the meat of the gist. What's this 1,000-point feeling? What does it feel like to kind of finally be able to have that goal set aside and to be able to celebrate that you reached that milestone?
It's an awesome feeling. I mean, I've wanted it ever since I was in elementary school playing basketball. So to be able to pull it off my senior year was an amazing feeling.
Hi, Joanne. I'm in Dakota. I was the one who actually probably saw the highlight, the voice going for 1,000 words. That was me. Just out of curiosity.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry you have to, every time you show that to someone, it's my voice, but just did you know when you put that 3 up, if it wanted, that was going to be it, since you're in the heat of the game?
In the heat of the game, I really did not think that was going in. I was having a rough night to start off, honestly. So I was like, I don't even know if I was even going to hit 1,000. But when I shot it and it went in, it was electric. It was really awesome.
Did you know that was it? Did you know it was the bucket that got it?
No, I knew it was the bucket that, I knew I needed 3 points. But when I shot it, I really did not think that was going to go in. I didn't think that was going to be it.
Right. So I guess that answers my next question, but we'll ask it anyway. Did you know going into that night how much you needed, or were you someone that was like, keep that away from me? I don't want to think about how much I need, or was the countdown on in your mind of how much you needed going into that game?
I mean, the countdown was there. I was trying to ignore the fact that like I needed 10 points, but like I knew, and like my teammates made it known to me too. They're like, "We're gonna get you this tonight. Like you're getting 1,000 tonight." And it did stress me out at the beginning, but then hitting it, it felt really good to do it.
I mean, you could hard to miss. I mean, just from where I was, there was some fans. I don't know if they were your friends' family. They had a countdown going for you. I saw that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
obviously you've played basketball. Just out of if you had a favorite basketball player growing up and just you followed, try to maybe model your game after. Maybe not the best way to say that, but just you've always enjoyed watching and as you took your career on.
Truthfully, it was like the McDonald like varsity girls when I was in like 8th grade. It's when they like went to like state. So, or no, I might have been 7th grade when they went to state, but the older girls like Molly Howard, Sophia Constantine, really like the girls from like my school, they really inspired me to be like a good basketball player and to be like the best version and player I could.
Obviously, that team set the bar so high for McDonald in this program.
Yeah.
But you guys have been a really scrappy team all year, and I feel like I've seen you guys throughout the season a couple of times. Every game I see you, you're working on getting better than you were maybe the game I saw you last. So what's it been like this year navigating it and just focusing on always taking that next step as a team and not letting maybe some missteps or some adversity phase you guys?
For us, really, I feel like it's all about growth and like learning off of each other. So like me and Sierra and Grace being like our seniors of our pack, we want to inspire the younger kids as much as we can and teach them as much because when we're done, I mean, we're done. So we want to learn and help them as much as we can to keep growing the program.
So just obviously you hit the 1,000. That's a career milestone. But for you as a basketball player, regardless of its points, rebounds, style, what defines success to you in basketball? Like as for a basketball player, like what in your mind, what defines a successful basketball player?
I think growth, honestly. Like I feel like it's all about like adapting and getting better every single game. And I think doing that with your team, at least for me, is one of my favorite parts about the game. It's not really about me in the end, it's about me doing it with my teammates. So I would say growth as a team overall is what will win you games and just get better overall.
All right, since we're talking growth, what do you think is your biggest growth point of the game this year? What do you think you've gotten so much better at this year than maybe last?
I think for me, like confidence, I feel like I've always had like confidence like coming in and stuff, but I was always like an underclassman. But like this year being a senior, I feel like confidence and like helping my other teammates get confidence with the ball, I feel like is something that I've really worked on. And my finishing still needs work, so I need to keep working on that and hopefully I'll get better at that. But definitely confidence, I would say.
I mean, you finished that three the other day pretty good.
Thanks.
But just what do you love most about the sport of basketball, just in general?
I love the team aspect. I've always been a team player when it comes to everything. So doing everything with my team is what means the most to me.
If you went back to that elementary school Juliana that said, I dreamed about it being 1,000-point scorer, and you told yourself, hey, you'll get it. Do you think you would have believed yourself as a kid, or do you think that was a goal that was, in the stars when you were little, and now here it is as reality?
I mean, I definitely think it was in the stars. I mean, it was always a goal of mine because basketball has always been like my favorite sport. So growing up playing it, it was always like I went to the games, I saw the girls on the wall, and I was like, that I want that to be me one day. So I don't know if I would have believed myself back then, but I'm happy that I was able to make it happen.
Just obviously all your teammates and your quote unquote teammates from the boys team. How was it just to share that moment with Joey Capizell? Like obviously he got it later on that evening in the boys game. That had to be kind of cool for all the teams involved, all your friends and fellow students at McDonald High School and your coaches and family to have two of the athletes at the school get the moment in the same night.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable feeling. I mean, the bar was set pretty high for us because we knew like if we both hit it in the same night, like it would make history. So we really wanted to do that, but I definitely think the pressure hit us a little bit, I want to say. But it was really cool to celebrate with all the fans, and everyone in the community was very supportive of us.
All right, so when we talk about what's next, because you're a senior, and although we'd love to cover you
Yes.
forever and have you, in McDonald forever and be able to always call your games, that's not how life works. You have a next chapter. What is next? What do you have in the horizon for after high school?
After high school, I want to study early childhood education at YSU. So that's my plan.
What got you into early childhood education? What made you interested in that, and what drove you down that career path?
Both of my parents are like educators at McDonald. My dad's at McDonald and then my mom's at Girard. So teaching has always been like an idea for me and it's always been in like my pathway. But really like the teachers at my school now had very big impacts on my life. And I want to be able to do the same for future students.
Oh, a little bit of a house divided, Gerard and McDonald.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Loyalties on both sides. And you've
Yeah.
actually played them this year. So I'm sure your
Yeah.
parents were not split on that. I'm sure they rooted for you, but maybe when it's other sports, there's a little bit of rivalry there.
Yeah.
But like you said, you want to be the educator. Who are some teachers in your life outside of your parents that you think really impacted you?
Truthfully, like every teacher at my high school. I mean, to name a few, there's Miss Razzo, Mrs. Shadle, Mrs. Simmons, Mrs. Mason, Senora, she's our Spanish teacher, Mrs. Stone Street. There's a ton of them. I can go on and on. Everyone at our school district is amazing, and I look up to every single one of them.
I got one more for you. Just obviously, now you've played all these years of basketball. Your high school career's coming up. What's just going to be your best memory, if it's on the basketball floor or just from high school or just your school career in general? You think you'll probably remember the most for the rest of your life?
Um, that's a good question. I don't,
Well,
I
thanks.
don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. That kind of stumped me. Really just, I feel like just everything. I don't know. I've just been trying to take this year in because obviously it's more than halfway through now. So I feel like just making the most of every moment I have here with my friends and my peers and my teachers. So really
When you
everything.
when you graduate, you're going to be able to get real reflective on everything that you've done in your high school career, whether it be on the court, off the court, in the classroom. You've accomplished so much. What are going to be something that you're really proud of yourself for being able to accomplish during high school, whether it be in athletics or outside of athletics?
I feel like just making an impact on like the programs I've been a part of. So like I run cross country, I run track, I play basketball. So I feel like making a positive impact on those programs and hopefully inspiring more girls to come up and want to do the same would be it.
You talk about that impact. If we ask the leaders of tomorrow on this team, what it was like to be your teammate and what they learned from you as a senior, what would you hope their answers would be next year or in 2 years when we talk to the next leaders?
I hope just to be confident and just speak out when something needs said. I feel like I do that a lot. I like to speak my opinion, and that sometimes isn't the best thing, but I feel like I'm very honest when someone asks me something. So I hope they would do the same.
All right, Juliana, we end these player profiles the same way every time. We want to give you the chance to take the limelight off yourself a little bit, shine on the people in your life that mean the most to you, that have kind of supported you throughout your whole career. So as many people as you want to give thank yous and shout outs to, the floor is yours.
I just want to say thank you to my family and friends for always supporting me through everything, my grandparents, my teammates, and my coaches, and my whole village community. So thank you to everyone.
Juliana, thank you so much for taking the time out in the middle of your day. We appreciate it coming on, talking to us, not just about your 1,000 points, but your whole career. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the senior season. We hope it goes as far as it possibly can, and we can't wait to
Thank
see you
you.
again real soon.
Yeah,
Thank you
congrats
so much
on
for having me.
the milestone.
Yeah, awesome job.
Thank
Juliana.
you. Thank you.
All right. Juliana Crumpack joining us from McDonald, middle of the day. We love it. And wow, what an interview, because she's someone that not just succeeds on the court, but obviously succeeds in the high character standards as well. Well-spoken, great interview. It's not the first time we've been able to talk to her. DK, when you talk about, that moment and you asked if that three looked good off the hands, when you saw it go out as a broadcaster, sometimes you have to anticipate. Did you think, oh, this is going in before it went in?
Honestly, I was kind of just going in the moment because like she said, she kind of started off slow.
Yep.
I wasn't sure, like maybe she was aware, like she was close. I mean, I knew she was close, but did she know in the moment I have 3 points to go? and she just kind of got open. Like they passed her on, like she was right there on the left wing, and she put it up. And I at Campbell were up in that left corner, and she was. And thankfully, since we had that angle, I could see her like it was perfectly on the camera. That I was like, kind of, I'm like, let's see if it goes in. Like I honestly anticipated it going in, and then I guess my word just I said the right thing for once. But
This
it
is
was
a
that was
small
a good
thing. When I
shot.
was watching that highlight, I was happy for you because this is something that's out of our control. We're at Campbell. We can only go where they set us up, and obviously, we can't use the huddle there because it's hard lined, and we'd have to plug directly into the camera. So we're using our own camera, which is obviously limited to whatever angle we can get. So I was really happy that both of them scored on the hoop closest to you.
Yeah, they
Then
both got it in the fourth.
it's a little bit easier to kind of have that moment when it's right there in front of the camera rather than the other end of the court when you can see it, but it's not as good of a view on the other side. So I was really happy that both of them got it on your side of the court. It just makes it just a little bit better when that happens.
Yeah, like you're like at Campbell, you're right there, like right in front of that basket on the left. Well, from at least our angle, the left corner, basically.
Yep.
And it got it perfectly.
Yep. Great job, DK, once again, doing the hard work.
Thank you.
Joey Capizzello is going to be interviewed a little bit later on today. Off the show. Couldn't quite make the show hours, but we're going to record them. So we will have both the 1,000-point scores up on the website later on today as well. So make sure you keep an eye out for both of them. We have another special guest joining us today. It wasn't just a 1 day, it's a 2. Man, this feels so rare because this year we've been struggling so much to get live guests. But this day, we get 2 of them. And we're so happy to have our next guest on from Boardman, someone that is just a phenom, someone that is just absolutely killing it on the court, someone we've been a fan of at YSN for a long, long time. We feel like we've been covering him forever, even though it's only been 3 years, and he's got another year to go. It is Jace Varley from Boardman, and I think is camera sideways. Can we rotate a little bit?
Yeah, we can.
All right, there. Oh, perfect, Jace. There we go. Jace, man, how we doing today?
We're doing wonderful.
Man, one, I love Boardman kids because you get the awesome background. It feels like we're actually in a live press conference.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this season, what it's been like kind of stepping into a bigger leadership role and what you felt during the year to kind of try to lead this group of kids and lead this group of players into a lot of success.
It's been lucky that last year I had a, responsibility coming in as a younger player, having some experience to move on to this year. And, we're a younger team this year, so I'm able to help the younger guys, help them move forward this year and more towards next year. So we're have more experience and better year next year and everything.
Hi, Jace. I'm DK or Dakota. I haven't able to get to any of the Boardman games this year, but just as a basketball player, and I asked our last guest this, for you as a basketball player, what defines just from regard of its points, rebounds, stats, the way they play, the mentality, just what defines success to you as a basketball player?
Whatever really contributes to the team, whatever I need to do to help win for the team, whatever that could be, scoring, rebounding, it all switches up every game. So whatever coach needs us to do, me to do, to help us win is really, really the deal.
In the same line of thinking, when you come off the floor every night, what are some things that make you always tell yourself, that was a successful night for me, I did my job? What are some things that you try to do every night that are consistent, that that when the game's over, you can tell yourself if you did them that you succeeded?
I look back every night after every game and, I try to reflect if I brought the energy, if I brought the leadership, to the team, to the game, and just doing everything as I can possible to help, make it a successful night.
Just growing up, did you have a favorite basketball player you always enjoyed and maybe quote unquote modeled your game after, or wish you could, maybe saying you wish you could play like, that's probably not the best way to phrase that, but just a favorite player you enjoyed watch growing up that made you fall in the love in the sport of basketball?
Yeah, I've always liked Klay Thompson. He's a great shooter, so I try to resemble my game after that. And also Kevin Durant, he's also just a 3-level scorer. So I've watched so many highlights of him, just trying to represent my game towards that mostly.
Okay, but let's be real. There are a lot of kids in Boardman that are watching highlights of you right now, and you are a role model. What's it feel like to have the younger generation look up to you and to be someone that they can guide their path and guide their way to be a Spartan in a few years?
It's amazing. When I was younger, I was looking at these kids at Boardman, and they were my role models. So to be in that position where the guys were early on, it's amazing. It's a great feeling. It's for little kids to look up to me, and yeah.
Just what's your favorite thing about the sport of basketball, just in general?
There's so much. I mean, I think it's just the relationships you build with your teammates, your coaches, and it's just the friendships, I think, is the biggest for me. I've created so many of my long-term friendships from down into our youth program and to now. I've created so many relationships, which has been a wonderful.
You brought up coaches, and I think last year when we heard that Coach Flores was the new basketball coach at Boardman, we couldn't clap louder because we knew that was a huge hire for you guys. What's it been like being coached by him and guided by Coach Flores and his staff?
It's been amazing. I've known Coach Flores for years now. I mean, I grew up with him when I was in elementary, so it's been great. That he's been around. I mean, he's had experience around basketball from his days. So for him to come in to the program and just help around the kids, us, me, and just spread what he's been through and tries to help us succeed has been great.
What was your first reaction when you heard he was going to be the head coach? What was some of the things that went through your head?
What went through my head was he was our JV coach at the time before his hire. So I had a little bit of experience there with him coaching me. So it wasn't nothing new to me, but I know for the other guys it was new. But I knew he could handle it, and he was a great fit for the team.
Just obviously you're a junior, still have one more year to go, but just so far, what's your favorite memory just from playing basketball at Boardman so far?
There's so many great memories. I think my favorite memory is going on like team camps. Probably this last year to Ashland was my definitely favorite. The guys were playing cards or we're in each other's dorm rooms just having a good time, going out to eat together, and especially going out on the court playing our best game together has been a very fun time with everyone.
When we talk about team chemistry on this team, we know Boardman has a real tight-knit group. What are some things that you think really help you guys be so close and tight-knit? What are some things that have built that relationship with your teammates?
Like I said, I think it's the outside of basketball part. I think where we do our like team bonding moments. We've gone to so many activities together. It's just that helps us get an understanding of everyone. So I think that helps translate it to the court. We trust each other. So I think, that's what helps us bring it onto the court all together.
So many great athletes at Boardman, Jace. When you think about someone that you want an autograph from, right? Any sport, any side of the aisle, who's an athlete maybe that you need a poster and an autograph from? Who's some of your favorite Boardman athletes right now?
Boardman athletes that, if I was younger, I would want like an Ethan Anderson, Trey DePietro. Those were my two big, like, I want an autograph from them. They helped like me realize that Boardman's a place that has a great community, great coaching, and great development for players and everything. So they were big for me. That helped me realize this is where I want to be at.
Trey's not too far down the road. Is Westminster. We can still work that out. We can get you a nice big Titan poster with Trey's autograph if you want it. We'll work that out for you.
Right across the border.
I'm not too far. Jace, when someone is eventually going to ask for your autograph, what's that going to feel like? I know it's happened. It has to have happened before. You had to have a little kid want something. What's it like for you?
It's exciting to know that a little kid, looks up to me and he wants to create a moment, and it's a memory for him, and especially me. It brings like a heartfelt memory like that I'll never forget. I mean, it's an amazing moment, especially just all around, just to create that.
All right, what's your go-to signature? Are you spelling it out so it looks clear? Are you doing a squiggle? Are you making it fancy? What's your signage look like?
It switches up sometimes.
I like it.
Like it all depends like how I'm feeling. And sometimes the nerves are right there, so it's a little bit more scribbly, or
Yeah.
if I'm calm, it's a little bit more printed out. It all depends on how the game went and everything.
Well, let's be real. You got to switch it up that way. It can't be copyrighted out there, and
Exactly.
you can't go on eBay seeing frauds of fake Jace Varley autographs.
I know.
We don't want that coming out. Jace, when you talk about this school, this Boardman athletics community, and all the people that support you, what makes you so proud to represent the Spartans and put those colors on every night?
Just coming here, everyone's so well-rounded. I mean, everyone here is determined to see the best in you. So everyone from the teaching staff to our board to coaches and just to the people around, they all want to see you succeed in every way possible. And that's what really, really helps me out and see this is the best place for me. They've helped out tremendously in every aspect.
Obviously you still have 1 year to go, but do you have any idea of maybe what you might want to do after high school? Continue basketball, maybe anything you want to go to a higher education for?
Obviously the main goal is to go play collegiate basketball, whether that's, pretty much anywhere. That's really my main focus. And then obviously get a degree in college wherever I go. But my main focus is going to the collegiate level and playing basketball.
DJ's not here today, but if he was, he'd want me to plug Westminster. He's an alum, so if you give them another look, he would love it if you were a Titan. Gotta put it in. That's your birthday gift, DJ. Happy birthday, DJ. By the way, we'll give a Westminster a shout out, but in all seriousness, joking aside, when you're looking at what you might want to do in the future, when you're looking at colleges that kind of are attracting you, what are you looking for? What are some things that a college coach or a college program could put on your doorstep to make you feel like, yeah, that this could be home for me?
What really stands out to me if they're really welcoming, and they're really interested in you. Like they want you there. They enjoy it, like seeing you play. Just they love everything about the game, and they're really tied into like you and everything.
Jace, we got you in the middle of the school day. So one of the things I want to know, because one of the hallmarks of high school and middle school and elementary school, of course, school lunch. What is your favorite school lunch? Are you someone that buys or do you pack?
Honestly, it depends. If I don't get a good breakfast in, I might go in there and buy, but usually I pack my lunch.
Is there one school lunch that when it's that day you are buying because it's really good?
Usually the calzones. The calzones here.
That's fair. That's fair.
Those are
Totally fair.
Those
Yep.
are pretty spot on.
Jace, we like having you here, buddy. One of the last questions I have for you, when you are, putting in the work and maybe there's some hard days, there's adversity that I'm sure you've faced. What gets you through those days? What gets you through adversity? What keeps you driven during your career?
My family, they've been there throughout my whole journey, and it's just going home after, say, a bad game, bad practice. They're always there. They're always comforting me. They're always going to let me know there's always tomorrow. So they've been a big help throughout my journey, and, they help out so much.
DK, you got a final one?
Not really a question, but just continue to assess to you. Hopefully, I didn't realize I did do one of your games when you guys played Mooney. I was at that game. And then just hopefully I'll get to see you play a couple of games either by the end of the year or into next season. And obviously, good luck and continue to assess to you, young man.
Thank you.
Jace, one of the things we do before we let you go, we do it with every player profile. Of course, we want to give you the limelight to shine on other people in your life that have supported you, that have been there for you. So as many people as you want, as much time as you need, give out some thank yous, some shout outs to the people that deserve it.
I really want to thank God. I couldn't be in this position without him. So he's my main shout out. And then also my family, my mom and dad, they've sacrificed so much for me to be here. So they're my biggest supporters. So, and then also my siblings. They've been out with me, helping me train, just being a helpful hand, if just to help around. Also, coaches. Coach Flores, he's been helpful, and then Coach Birch, my freshman year, he really put this perspective for me what high school basketball is going to be about, and he showed me what the hard work that needs to happen to be successful. And so those are really the main people that I'm thankful for.
All right, Jace, we want to thank you so much for coming on, talking to us in the middle of the school day. We appreciate it. Maybe did we get you out of class? Did we let you skip a test? What would we do? How did we help you?
You caught me at the end of a math class, so
Yes.
I didn't miss too much, but it got me out of class. So
good. That's what we like to do. Shout out to math. It's awesome. Jace, thank you so much again for the time. We appreciate it. We'll see you again real soon, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
Oh man, that was a great interview. And we got him out of math class, DK. That's the goal. Not really.
Right.
We don't like to get people out of class. We're joking. Like, hey, class first, guys.
Of course,
but
yeah.
It's always fun. It's always fun to have that kind of joking moment at the end of interviews. Be like, hey, what did we get you out of? What did we get you out of a test or something? We hope so. I would have loved to get out of math class. I don't know about you, DK. In high school, math was not my forte. It was not my.
It was the good about sophomore. Then they start adding shapes and letters, and I'm like, what's going on here?
I was like, geometry was the one where I was like, okay, all I have to do is memorize equations. Like, I don't have to figure stuff out. There's no critical thinking in geometry. It's all just, what are my equations, and then just plug in numbers for the equation. I was more of a memorizer. That's why I was good at like history and stuff. So I could, if you just said, hey, memorize this equation, and just all you have to do is plug numbers into it, I'd be like, good. But then when it goes into algebra, where you have to remember like, and then you have to kind of figure stuff out. I did not take calculus, which is, apologies to Mr. Yeagley out there. I was not a math student. I never had him as a teacher, which is regret, but I was not someone that enjoyed math, so I was not taking calculus, which is what he taught while I was in high school. So I love seeing him in the hallways, but I was not going to go in his classroom at all.
Math was I could get by, and I mean, once I got a little, start adding more letters and more punctuation signs, or whatever you want to call it. His own getting DK's on
Sean Elwood.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
Sean, is Sean throwing shots in the comments right now at DK?
I mean, to be fair, we weren't broadcast partners during football season, so so that's fine. We had some situations that we had some fillers, put that way.
And then he says DK Dakota Kotzel.
Oh, that's okay. You probably should put the code up.
DK Kotzel. It's a great drop in, Sean. We appreciate you. But you also got some love from not Sean.
Hey, Swartz. That's my college. One of my good friends, and one of my college roommates and good friends, Jason. We've gone some baseball trips together and stuff. He's a big
Bethany,
Marlins fan.
Right? Bethany alum.
Yep, went to Bethany College down there in Bethany, West Virginia. Obviously, a rival of Westminster with the PAC. But
DJ's about to come in and cut you off.
Yeah, we love them all. Yeah, we love all the schools except WJ. We love them too.
With you there. That's one of the things we bonded over really quick, because one of my good friends that I went to school with went and played basketball at Bethany, and I think you knew her from the broadcasting, Alexi Naples. Now the coach,
yes.
Now the middle school coach at South Range for the girls, and that was like, hey, we both know somebody. We can bond over that.
When I first started,
Bethany, I went to watch her and her sister once, and it is not a drive I'd want to take in the winter. I would probably never take that drive to watch basketball. It's not an easy drive on bad streets. It's windy. I would not want to do that in the snow. I will save those trips for the nice weather in the spring and the early fall.
Just real quick, so like from like the Youngstown area, if it's Trumbull, Mahoney, Columbia County, it's down 11 to 7. It's a straight line. You cross that bridge into West Virginia, it's straight until you make that left turn onto 67. And it's only 6 miles, but it feels like about 600.
It's not straight anymore. It's whoop 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 whoop.
The road in.
I was going there and I was like, this could get real dangerous if it was snowing.
Oh, yeah, no, if it snowed, I did not
Yeah.
leave campus.
The next season when they played and it was a little bit worse weather, I was like, I'm going to go to one of your road games. I'll go to Teal. I think I went to Teal to watch them. So did not make that trip to Bethany. No ill will. Bethany's gym I thought was really fun. Loved the gym that I was. It was real fun to be in. Just not a fan of that drive, and I wasn't even the one driving. I'm saying that I didn't even drive the thing. I was just riding.
First time I went to go see it, I'm with my parents, and then we turn, and my mom was like, "Are you sure you're on the right road?" I'm like, "That's what the GPS says."
The GPS is taking me down this, snake road. I don't know, nothing but trees met next to me.
Yeah, but
if you hear banjos, you're in trouble. That's what I was telling my mom. I said, if you hear banjos, turn around. Until then, keep going straight.
Yeah, obviously it was Bethany had some good memories. It'll be 9 years ago last month. I was done 2017. So coming up on a decade I've been done. But obviously I called games down there, and they got me the experience. And then I have a friend from the post office who put me in touch with Sam Torres up north. I don't know why I always say up north. And then he got me in touch with like DJ Chris Sigler, and then it's been 2 years going strong. And well, you guys haven't told me to leave yet, so
hey, doors always closed. You're not leaving. I almost said open. I was like, well, that's not right. That's not the right. Usually, you say the door's always open. That's like but then I was like, that doesn't work for what I'm. The door's not open. Don't leave. Don't go anywhere. DK, while we're talking about your 2 years at YSN, this is the first time we've had you on this show. What have been some of your favorite moments? Do you have kind of calls or games that stick out to you that are like, man, that's a core memory at YSN. If I have a lengthy YSN career and then put up the broadcasting headset, those will be moments I remember forever.
Obviously, with Juliana Crumpack and Joey Capozell getting the 1,000 the same night, and I was able to be there for the call. And then last year I had a basketball game. It was LeBray, and it was at Girard. They were playing Girard, and it was like it was like a buzzer beater, and I heard the call back, and I'm getting excited. It was like we're tied at 34 or whatever it was, and then there was a timeout called by Girard, and they were out of them, so they called the Tech. And sometimes when you're calling the games and you got the resources you have, and you're like, wait, what just happened? Why is the whistle blown? And if you miss the ref signal, you're not sure what's going on. And we went to commercial, and I like whispered to the coach, like, LeBray said, what just happened? She's like, technical. I was like, oh, because they come out and all of a sudden back from commercial, and they're shooting foul shots, and that got LeBray the win. And then obviously during football season, and I know you still listening, Sean. I called some Niles games, and obviously I went to Niles McKinley High School. When Avon Fryer, he was a senior last year, returned one against the Lakeside Dragons on a kick return, and that was like one of the first like Niles touchdowns I got to call, which was kind of cool. And just like obviously the All-Star games, like we've been together with the volleyball and basketball. Those are just cool events to see all the athletes that are involved in the YSN network to be continued success, and just like cool to be part of. Like obviously for like just because this one's the most recent, Juliana and Joey, they can show those videos to their future children or friends or whoever what comes up in their future, and they're gonna be like have some random guy's voice screaming like a maniac. And just to be a smart part of history like that for those athletes is always a cool moment.
Yeah, I mean, people could sit there and be like, "Oh, recency bias." He's using a lot, but like I said it before, that is not something that I don't think we've ever done on YSN. The back-to-back 1,000-point scores in the same night, so it is super rare that happens. I was saying yesterday on the show, it's almost the only good thing that came out of those snowstorms, because that doubleheader was a reschedule. It was a makeup because they were supposed to both play. I think McDonald was supposed to play Campbell on Friday nights. McDonald girls were supposed to play on Thursday nights. So what they did is they just said, hey, we're both canceled. Let's just move that to a doubleheader. And it was one of those kind of, oh, okay, well, now we're going to both get 1,000 on the same night. And, of course, you were able to be there. So it doesn't happen often. It is something that is pretty special, not just for the athletes, but for the people that get to cover it. So I think that's a good pick. I don't think that's recency bias there.
No, but like it's kind of funny that you said one of the good things that came from the snowstorm.
Right.
Obviously, we're in
The
contact. All the
frostbite was
announcers.
not one of the good things that came through the snowstorm.
No, it is not. But if I don't get that, I don't get to go to that game. So you
Hey,
know what?
silver lining. Silver lining.
Positive thinking sometimes, Anthony. I was actually just because we had to move some assignments around with other conflicts and stuff, and I was talking to Chris Sigler. I told him that he was like, "I don't know, I would say that, but I get your point."
DK is such a flex. He's like, I just got some mild frostbite during my job. I worked through it. No big deal.
No, they made me take off a few days of work. They made me
But
stay
you
home. They're
worked.
like, "Go warm up."
You were pressing buttons on the computer. You worked through it. Way to go.
I have a mouse I bring with me.
Way to go. Way to go. Way to go through it. I don't think I think a lot of people out there would get frostbite and be like, I am such a baby. I will stay inside under covers and not do anything.
Yeah.
Is that your
That's all
first?
right.
Is that your first frostbite as a mailman?
Yeah, hopefully it's my only. Just
Yeah.
unfortunately, the weather the last week was
It got
just.
brutal. Like
I was telling people it's
I
like
saw some of
Antarctica
those
out there.
I saw some of those mail trucks out in the snow, and I was like, God love these people, because some of these yards are like treacherous to even get through, because they're like, hey, we haven't really shoveled our yard. Here's like 8 inches of snow to try to get through to get to our mailbox. Good luck.
It's been a challenge, but I mean, that is what it is. I'm just.
Do you have any like
it was hazard of the job. It is what it is.
do you have any like great stories in the snowstorm, or things that were like crazy that happened to you?
No, I
Content-worthy?
mean
No?
I've tripped
That's
and fell in
disappointing.
the snow before. I mean, obviously.
That's how you know how deep the snow is. How deep it would appear if you fall face first.
Well, that's I guess this is the one thing.
That's what
Like
the snowfall
obviously,
factor is. Ask Andrew DePaulo. Snowfall factor is not based on scientific facts. It's based on how the snow might appear if you fall face first into it.
I will say this. Obviously, like Anthony, you've seen me standing. I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'4", and obviously, I mean, I'm not an NBA player, but like for I guess average people, that's
You're a man.
decently
You're
tall.
big. You're tall.
So my like coworkers, like I'm stepping into these like snow piles, and it's going halfway off my calf. I'm feeling bad for my coworkers who are not quite as tall as I am. I'm going, there's no way they're walking through this.
Yeah. It's up to their like thighs. You're like, there's no way.
Hey, but they always told me, always be aware that you're going to get bit because, just a hazard of the job. I always thought they met a dog about Frosty the Snowman.
Oh. Have you read into any dogs that try to get at you?
Yeah, nothing's happened. I've always been able to get away or most people are pretty cautious they understand it's just dogs not trying to be mean or nothing. It's just, well, they might be, but they understand
You're a
we're
new
just
guy.
that random stranger.
We are protecting our house.
I always kind of laugh when I have like a package and I'm dropping it off. I'll kind of go, hey, buddy, this is probably your dog toy mom and dad ordered for you.
In fact, that sets them up real quick. Toy?
It depends.
Yeah, some dogs. Dakota, one of the last things we got to talk about is, of course, what's going on the network tonight. Let's go look at our spreadsheet and see what we'll have live on the network on this beautiful Thursday, because there's a lot of green. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 girls basketball games on the network tonight. So that's going to be a good one. Here's what's going down. Hoops at noon is going on right now, and DJ Oakley at Liberty as he's covering that matchup. So make sure to go over on ysnlive.com/live. Check that out right now. Mohawk is at home. Eric Hughes will have the call at 6 o'clock. South Range will be at Struthers. Michael McKenzie on the call there. DK, you're going to be at East as they welcome in Latonia on the girls' side. Lakeview will be at Girard. That's a big matchup in the NE8. Noah Doty, the Doe Man, on the call there. Poland at Niles. This is round 2 of a really good matchup that happened in Poland earlier this season. Sean Elwood will be on the call in Niles for that one. We have Salem at Hubbard. That's going to be the Hubbard boys, Lucas Manzo and Brady Fabrizio, both on the call for that. Ty Bartell will be in Garrettsville Garfield as Springfield comes to town. McDonald at Middle Ridge. I'll have the call in the Rams home tonight as McDonald comes in for an MVAC matchup. That'll be a 6:15 start. Jefferson will be at Geneva. That's going to be Scott Demos on the call there. You have Hurling Christian, the school, taking care of that one. They host Wood County Christian. And then last but not least, Columbiana hosting Bel Air. Joe Cebio on the call. I believe that's an OVAC game for Columbiana girls.
Yeah, I haven't been able to do a lot of girls games this year just because of my schedule, but looking forward to Latonia and East. They seem to should be a good matchup out there and on the east side of Youngstown.
Yeah, it's great to get both those teams on the network, and there are teams that don't pop up too much because our announcer availability is limited, and we don't have a lot of people that are close to Latonia that will go down to Latonia. Obviously, you're in East, so we get them on the road, but really good to get the Bears and the Bears. It's the battle of the Bears, Golden Bears, if you want to be specific for East. But it's going to be fun to get those two on the network tonight. DK, you're going to have a good one.
Yeah,
Let's see.
and then
No, Girard girls can clinch and share the NE8 tonight. Can win it outright if Niles beats Pullman. So that will be a score to watch. As Girard with a win will clinch a share, and then once again, if Niles beats Poland, pulls off the upset there, then Girard would have the outright NE8 championship for the second straight year if that happens tonight.
yeah, I did Gerard. I did their first game against Columbiana, and the girls game they're good. I mean, I did that game back in November, just early on the season, and you could tell from that moment they're going to be
Girard
something to reckon with.
Girard is a team that doesn't always look like the prettiest in the world, but they find ways to win even when they're not playing their best, which I think is a hallmark of a great team. When you're able to win games that you don't put your best foot forward, you're able to just find ways to win. That's what we call the championship DNA. And that's something that, like, as much as you'd love to be able to coach that, you just can't. So they have players that know how to be clutch. They have that kind of clutch gene in Kaylee Wilkes and Allie Gassman. They just show up in big moments, and you can't really coach that. And that's what makes Girard super dangerous. That and the fact that they're really hungry, because last year they had an earlier tournament lost and they wanted, so they're pretty motivated to avenge that. Last year they got upset in, I believe, the district semifinals
Yeah,
against
I
South
did.
Range. So
Yeah, I did.
they're pretty motivated to make a deeper tournament run because they felt like they didn't perform to their standard last year in the tournament. So the draw is Sunday, which means this is the final game for them that will count towards the points and max preps. They want to get a win. They want to make sure that those points are as high as possible and they can get the best seeding if possible when it comes to the tournament draw. Last year, it was crazy. Even though they had beaten South Range twice because of the way the schedule worked out and because of the way of who played who before that deadline, which is kind of, we've talked about it before, DK. It's kind of silly that this tournament draw happens in the middle of the season because you still have games to play after Sunday.
Yeah, that's odd.
But last year it worked out that Girard was the NEA champions, but South Range was technically the higher seed because they had bigger point wins to that point of the season when the points were finalized. So South Range was 9, Girard was 11. So even though Girard was NEA champions and they beat South Range, they had to go to South Range for the tournament game, and they fell in the Thriller Dome in the district semifinals. So they're hoping that they can just knock all that out there. They have a little bit of a better record this year. They've only lost one league game so far. So they're hoping they can knock all that out and just be the higher seed all the way through the tournament and make sure that they get those 2 home games for sectionals and district semifinals. So we'll see. Sunday's going to be an exciting day. DK, we transition into the last moment of our show where we give our shout out to our great sponsors, Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical, and you can find them at dickeyelectric.com. They sponsor the daily segment of What's Your Spark? And DK, I know you've seen it before, so you know what the deal is, but this is your first spark, so let's make it a good one. All right, DK, spark it up, buddy. What's your spark today?
Well, one, I'm often owned to be outside in the cold. We'll give you that one. But just the what I get to do here at YSN, it's really fun. It's cool. I get to I spoke to DJ earlier today. Obviously, we mentioned it was his birthday. Reached out to him, just give him some wishes, and just small conversation. Just the fact that going to like we talked earlier, went to Bethany to try to be a broadcaster, call games, and I kind of get to live out the dream, and then you get to be part of moments for these young athletes' lives. Like obviously we talked to her earlier in the show, Juliana Crumpack. Just she's gonna remember that the rest of her life, regardless what she decides to do or where she goes in life. She's gonna remember in high school she got 1,000 points. So just to even be a small moment those athletes' careers are. It's really cool to be part of.
All right, my spark today. I have a couple because there have been a couple of things that have happened, so I'm really stoked up. I got a couple today. One I missed yesterday because it was National Women's and Girls in Sports Day, and that's always I think it's on the first Wednesday of February, but it's always on a different date of the calendar. So I always kind of forget what day it's going to be on. So I kind of got surprised by that yesterday after the show. So I want to give a shout out to that because, of course, everyone knows I'm a big supporter of female athletics. I have so many friends at every level that play sports from the girls' side of things, and I'm proud of every single one of them, and I'm especially proud of the ones that did it back when it wasn't easy to be a female athlete. It's still not the greatest on the pro level. They're still trying to work things out, but it's much easier in the college and high school level than it used to be. So the ones that kind of paved the way, that day is for you. So I want to say, one, happy National Women's and Sports Day, belated because it was yesterday. Second spark goes out to it's the start of D1 softball today. This is the first day of the season. I'm stoked for it. I'm going to have it on the TV for the next 3 hours before I go to my game, and I'll probably have it on the TV after I come home with catching up on some games that I missed while I was broadcasting a game on replay. So super excited about that. I'm a big softball junkie. I can't wait to dive into the season. It's going to be really fun. And then lastly, but not leastly, that's stupid. Last but not least, I got the piece of the net last night from Maplewood. Their seniors presented it to me when they celebrated winning the NAC. So I want to give them a shout out because that's not something they have to do, but they appreciate what we do at YSN. They wanted to make sure I got a piece of the net. So I want to say thank you to that. That was a great moment to be a part of. Maplewood with the buzzer beat, well, not the buzzer beater, but the almost buzzer beater to beat Edgewood in the final seconds. That wasn't a NAC game, but they clinched the NAC earlier on last week on the road. So that was their first time they were home after getting the NAC championship. So they also cut down the nets after the game to celebrate that championship of the NAC back-to-back for Maplewood. So happy for them, happy to be a part of it, and really happy that they've kind of embraced YSN into the Maplewood family. So shout out to the Rockets and the back-to-back NAC champions. We can't wait to see what you do in the tournament. DK, that is a good show, buddy. Way to go. You've gotten it first under your feet. You got some interviews under your belt. You got a show under your belt. This is a big day for DK. We appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Well, yeah, I appreciate you having me on, Anthony. When I was, I listened to the show the other day, and obviously with me being off, and I was being part of that situation. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that, buddy. I was like, I gotta see if Anthony will let me come on. So I reached out, and you're like, absolutely. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you bringing me on. And I mean, you ever need someone to come on and talk with you, just reach out, and if my schedule allows, I'll be more than happy to pop on.
All right, that is a show. We will be better tomorrow like we always are. Although there's no show tomorrow, we will still be better. We'll have a bunch of content get put up on a Friday. And then, as always, we say may the sports be with you, everybody. We'll see you again on Monday from noon to 1 here on YSN Live. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great weekend.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.